All right, just want to make a quick update video here on the MSTR earnings that just came out. You know, it was really interesting what they put in there because I think it actually, one, can signal some non-supportive flows for Bitcoin. And number two, it can show some weakness in his stock. I mean, we can definitely see how it's going to play out, but just some things I noticed. So first things first, Michael Saylor said that MSTR has completed 20 billion of its 42 billion capital plan, so they're not done buying just yet. So 20 billion, and they want to get to 42 billion. Something to note, they are only going to add 10 billion this year, and they basically added 20.5 billion just in Q4 of last year. So this seems small to me. This 10 billion in a year versus, obviously 20 billion in just Q4. That to me seems small. Um, so that's something to note. Um, the flows on Bitcoin might be not as supportive, something I was thinking about, but I guess we'll see what happens. He could always revise it next earnings. So other than that, the earnings, I mean, they didn't look that great, to be honest, overall. So just something to keep aware of. But I did want to point out the Bitcoin flows. I mean, we'll see if he shows up in the tape tomorrow or what's going to happen. But excuse me. But to be honest with you, Bitcoin doesn't look great either. Um, it doesn't look horrible, I guess, but it's just kind of doing the drift of death right now. When I say it means terrible, I think as a trading perspective, it doesn't look that interesting. MSTR, I'm kind of doing the same thing. Range on range kind of thing we're building out. Not so interested in buying unless we kind of get down. Probably here is where I look to buy next. Somewhere in this area. Maybe we get a chop down into this area, kind of fill out this low volume area. It would kind of be confluent with the top of that range, and then we could kind of trade back up. But if we get down there, I'll probably punt some calls along with some stock. Maybe some 3-month out calls just for some mean reversion, just into the back to the middle of this range. Nothing crazy. That's kind of what I'm watching on MSTR. We'll see if it breaks the range low. That's kind of, to be told. All right, so that's the update on MSTR. Basically, not as many supportive flows for Bitcoin, so definitely something to watch out for. Honestly, not much to update you guys today on Bitcoin. We are just doing the slow drift of death. Bitcoin per premium hasn't done anything. The order books haven't done much either. They're kind of flat, dead on both sides. Yeah, I mean, where would you enter a trade right now? You could ask a 5-year-old, and it's just not here. It's not here. Um, could we? I have this kind of level marked out here. Could we trade down into this little consolidation and bounce for an intraday trade? Yes, something like this. Or we could just slow drift of death down. We maybe get a wick and then we kind of bottom out. You do kind of want to look for, if we don't get that liquidation cascade with the high volume, you do want to look at the kind of slow bleed, rounded out bottom choppiness, which sometimes Bitcoin likes to do, kind of, that's not so great in this range, but if you look back, you'll definitely see it. But I'd also want to see supportive flows, when we come down here, and stuff like that. Hopefully we get a high relative volume candle. We get some inefficient move. Inefficient, I just mean some fast move, and we kind of recover. That would be the best buying opportunity. If we do get the slow drift of death, it's a lot harder to predict the low. You know, we do normally get these 3 drives, something like this, and then we kind of bottom out when sellers get exhausted, but this is a lot harder to buy. And also you have to remember you're going to be sitting in this trade for a long time. Like let's say you buy here, you're sitting in the trade and you're getting chopped up, chopped up, chopped up. It's like, oh, should I exit? Should I enter? If you get that liquidation cascade, it's really immediate and you go right back up. So something to note on that end. Again, I'm just playing the extremes on Bitcoin. Honestly, I haven't been trading it that much. Let's look at Solana here. Kind of the same thing on Solana. We have this large wick. That was basically that one trade I was looking for, but ever since then, hasn't been many trades. Low time frame, yes. High time frame, not as much. I'm just gonna mark this out real fast. So something I'll be watching out for. Are we gonna accept back into this range or are we gonna hold the top? Remains to be seen, but this kind of looks like we built a range. We had the expansion. This is obviously a good spot to buy, which you've already came into it kind of twice here. So we got the expansion, and it almost looks like we got a double top, and just kind of looks crappy. So we'll see what Bitcoin does, but honestly, I'm not day trading Solana that much. Let's see. I did take a short up here. And honestly, I just got a few percentage. I got out and it came up back into my entry and I just exited for about 25%. So not many trades on there. Let's look at ETH. ETH still looks gross. Really only just intraday trading ETH. I'm not going to hold this dog shit coin. Yeah, it just looks horrible. And again, once we get these large wicks, they normally fill out. So something to note. All right, XRP. Yeah, slow drift of death. All right. And the SPX levels I'm looking at, we have the 60-50 level, some dealer flows called charm, kind of get supportive above here. Dealers going to be buying back SPX and stuff like that. So I'm just kind of playing it to 61.45, hopefully. I don't know if it's going to get all the way up there, but I at least want to see this high kind of get taken out, 61.10. That's kind of my next resistance. But these are the intraday levels I got for tomorrow. If you're playing the options, I got 60.50, 6K, 59.90, and then 59.10 down here. Yeah, all right. I think that's about it. The market's been pretty boring. Once we have a large volatility event, volatility does seem to die down. So something to keep in mind. I will probably, next video is probably going to be educational just because there's not much going on in the market. All right. Have a good night, guys. Thanks.